Hey guys, Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and not that I act to social networks and things on online, but there was a question that came up, and so you ranch hands don't lose faith in me. I want to do an explanation, a very very important explanation about this fusible link. If you're watching this one, there was a previous video that I talked about if nothing works, okay? And it's this fusible link. And my answer for it was to take this out and to put in a fuse. Now let me explain that, because if you get engineers involved, okay, a fusible link has a specific specification and a specific characteristic, okay? Fusible links are made for application. A fuse, whether it's AGC or ATC, okay, a fuse is a fast blow and it has an application as well. Circuit breakers, there's two types, a trip where you reset it, and then a resettable circuit breaker also has a specific reason, okay? Now, as I explained, we take out a fusible link and we put in an ATC 40 amp fuse. Okay. Now, this fusible link was designed to be abused a little bit as call it a slow blow. Okay. Because there are peaks when AC compressor comes on, when your air compressor comes on, when you blow your air horns or whatever, when there's a high current need, there could be a spike, and that spike could take out a fuse. Absolutely, totally agree. That's why they put a fusible link in there, because it can be abused a little bit. It can take those spikes and not blow, but if there's truly a short, boom, this thing heats up and blows out. I said heats up and blows out. Now, this fusible link was not designed, okay, to have a certain resistance. It was designed that when a certain amount of current flows over it for a certain amount of time, it blows out, okay? Now, another fusible link is used for the alternator light circuit, the trigger circuit. Okay, now that fusible link, if it shorts out, it melts the harness. Now, an engineer got involved and said, well, if the regulator shorts out and burns out those wires, well, let's put a diode in it. All right? Yes, but you've got resistor wire, single strand nichrome resistor wire that's designed to drop voltage. Now, how do you drop voltage? You drop voltage by inducing resistance. That's why it's called a resistor wire. And in our alternator light circuit, there's 38 inches of resistor wire, single strand nichrome wire, that drops the voltage to trigger your alternator. Okay, it's there. The problem is you take that resistor wire and it gets hot, that gets warm. Okay, that's why it's got that big insulation. You take that resistor wire and you wad it around the harness and then wrap it. Okay, and over the years, if you turn the key on and the light comes on, that means that circuit's energized and it gets hot. And over the years, they cross. It gets hot and it's twice as hot where they cross, right? This one's hot, and they melt together. And now the resistance changes, more current flow. That happens 3 or 4 times, and then that resistor wire shorts out and is the problem. It may not be a bad alternator that causes it. You understand what I mean? Now, plugging in a diode in line, if the regulator goes out, would help. But at 50 years, we're starting to find that resistor wire has shorted out 2 or 3 times, and now it's getting hot, and it's getting hot, and it's melting the harness. Okay? That's when an engineer got involved with it. He put a diode in. And you know, in 77, 78, I think 76, they have a small diode put in line right behind the light on the cluster. It essentially does the same thing. GM understood it, and they put a small diode in there. You don't have to have a 6 amp, a big one, just a little one, just to stop the EMF current flow. But the problem is that did not fix the wire. Okay, so we understand the reason to turn off the trigger circuit and go to a one-wire alternator is to get rid of that resistor wire. Now, in the same situation, don't mean to lengthen this out, but in the same situation here, this resistor wire is designed to handle about 80, 90 amps constant for a little bit, and then it melts. Okay, now, my video said you replace this with a heavy gauge fuse holder and a 40 amp ATC fuse, plug-in fuse. Why? First of all, you know that it's only going to blow out in the middle of a blizzard at night, lower Lompoc, nobody there, and you don't know what to do, and you've loaned the coach to somebody. Or it's 10 years after you did something and you don't know what happened. You know, we've talked about this and you forgot about it. Look, if you replace this with an inline fuse holder and a plug-in fuse that can be replaced, tag it. You know, main link. Okay, now 85 amps this thing will hold maybe for a little while. Along with this, one of the big current devices that goes through this is your air compressor. They put a resettable, remember we talking about different things here? They put a resettable circuit breaker on the compressor. Why? Because that sucker could pull enough current and it could pop the fuse because it's got a surge. So they put a circuit breaker in there. They put a resettable circuit breaker, so they didn't have to tell anybody. It would pop. It would go about 3 or 4 minutes. It'd come back on. Okay, so that circuit breaker that was put in the fuse box, it's a silver rectangular thing right at the top of the fuse box or on the side on 77, 78. That was put there for a specific reason. It's a resettable circuit breaker. It's a great thing. Okay. Now, my suggestion, along with replacing this, I want to take the air compressor off of this because the air compressor on the late models, it goes through this, it goes to the fuse box, it goes to that fuse, and then it goes all the way to the back, and it's like a 8 gauge or 9 gauge wire. It could pull 30 amps in the back. Okay? That's wrong right there. Okay? So I want to take that circuit, I want to take that load off of this. Now, if that's a maximum of, say, 30 amps on the compressor, air compressor, that's 30 amps of the 85 that this thing gets hot with. Okay? You can put a 40 amp fuse in place of this fusible link, take the air compressor off of the system. Got to do that. These are two things. You do one or the other. Actually, pulling the air in the late models, you pull the air compressor and you put it on the rear battery back at the fuse box. It's just up the next cabinet up from the fuse box. So you hook your 40 amp fuse there and hook the current to the compressor. That was an update from GM. They realized that wire front to back was wrong, or actually it wasn't front to back, it was from the well, yeah, it was front to back. It was a wrong idea. There's a bulletin, and I've got all the bulletins. I ought to pull it out and show it to you. But they said drill a hole, run an 8 gauge wire up, put a fuse up there, and hook it to the output or the input of the fuse holder, and then run the current to the air compressor with that. And if you do that, a 40 amp ATC fuse with this is fine. Okay. On the early guys, you can put a fuse up front at the vehicle battery positive. Put a 40 amp fuse there, run an 8 gauge over to the driver's side, right? And then hook it up. Actually, you hook it up with a relay from there. If I need to do a video on that. But you hook it up to a relay, effectively taking that air compressor off of this, okay? Take it off of this so it won't affect it. It has its own circuit, and it takes a dump, it blows its own circuit, and you're still driving. I think that's a good thing. You place this with a 40 amp fuse. If you do have an issue and it pops and you're not there, somebody else is there, maybe they call you and you say, hey, go up there and pull up that fuse and pop it up and take a look. And it's blown, put a fuse in there. Any kind of fuse. 40 amp, 30 amp would actually run on a 30 amp. But I like to put a 40 amp because it gives you an extra cushion. But that gives you an opportunity to fix your coach on the road. You follow what I mean? Bubba and Scooter won't have a fusible link in the middle of nowhere, but they might have a fuse. Okay? You get an engineer involved, and it's item for item, absolutely guaranteed, positive. But see, I'm in the real world. I have you guys calling me all the time. Everything's dead. I don't know what's going on. Help me, Mr. Wizard. This is the problem, brother. Okay? So I hope that's regained your faith in me. For that one guy that put it in and got beat up by this guy on Facebook. That wasn't fair. Okay? Because your circuit is protected, it's split, and it's protected, and you can fix it anywhere. Dig it? All right. This video is going to go along right beside the other one to explain that for anybody that has, conspiracy theory thoughts or anything like that. I do appreciate the contrast opinion, and I hope that I've explained well what that opinion is about. Great. Give me a call if you have any other questions. And by the way, I get a lot of input. I get a lot of posts from different places. Guys, if you're watching this on Patreon or on YouTube, I would prefer that you post on Patreon a comment. One, everybody can see it and we can talk about it. If you want to send a personal post to me, this is opposite from what everybody else tells you to do. You call in, you get a computer routing, and AI starts to sell you an orange. All right? I want you to call me. I want you to call me. I want you to text me. If you have a question, like the guy that got wiped out, I'm really sorry that happened, brother. But you'll find over the years that if you ask questions, you'll find some answers. You just don't listen to what everybody throws out there. You look around, you listen to things, keep your mind open. Okay? I don't want a fusible link running the entire motorhome. The entire electrical system goes through this, other than the starter and the alternator. But the rest of the electrical system, this is the main link to the fuse box. I'm not digging that. I'm not feeling it. Okay? All right. Look, thanks for your time here. I'm throwing this one in. I'm just about ready to do the next episode on the headliner, so you guys be sure to watch that. And also, I've got a video coming out probably next week about Are You Grounded? Think about that. Well, look, thanks for the time. Hit like and subscribe and all that stuff. If you're on YouTube and you're on Patreon, give me a thumbs up or something on comments just to make me feel good. Or a question or a gripe. I'm good with it, and I'm good with all those kind of questions you need to ask me. Great, man. Look, we'll see you on the next one. All right.